a brilliant buzz at this conference, isn't there? It's fantastic, terrific energy, thousands of you here. We've got members, councillors, MPs, businesses. In fact, it's such a hot ticket, I'm surprised that Keir Starmer hasn't asked somebody to buy him one. Now, I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for our party and the support that you've always given Uchta and me. You all worked tirelessly during the election campaign, and I'm only sorry that I could not deliver the result that your efforts deserved. And as you know, this is my final conference as leader. A new leader of our party will be announced in just 5 weeks' time. So I'm not delivering the usual leader's speech, and instead, this week, the stage will be for the 4 leadership candidates. This conference should be about their message to you, about the future of our party and our country. One of them will be our next leader, and this is their time to show you what they will bring to the role, to inspire you, and it is important that they have the opportunity to do that without distraction. But I did want to be here to say a proper thank you to you all. You, the members, are the spine of our party. You will be central to us winning again. It is you who take our message to the country. It is you who are on the doorsteps in all weathers, and it is you who embody our party's values. But you are not only the backbone of our country, our party, but our communities too. You know that the strength of our society is not measured by how much government spends, by what we do for each other. You lead the little platoons that do so much to make our country great. Now, I know the election result was hard. We were all devastated to lose so many good Conservatives. Now, of course, we need to learn the lessons of this defeat. We did not get everything right in office. No government ever does. And we do now need to reflect on that. But we should not forget what we have achieved these last 14 years. We must not, and I know we will not, let Keir Starmer rewrite history. The last Labour government left us a note saying that there was no money left. We left them inflation back at target, mortgage rates falling, and the fastest growing economy in the G7. When I became Prime Minister, I was determined to restore stability to our economy, and we did. In the election, we warned that Labour would tax more and borrow more, because we all know that socialists always run out of other people's money. Something, by the way, that Lord Ali is already finding out the hard way.
I think I've got it.
But looking back over the last 40 years, we Conservatives made our country fairer and stronger. We steered this nation through the biggest challenges we have faced since the Second World War.
Okay, great.
The first pandemic in over 100 years. The return of war to the European continent. The biggest spike in global energy prices in half a century. But despite having to contend with all those challenges, we left office with 4 million more people in work. That's 4 million people having their lives transformed, 4 million more people knowing the confidence, security and purpose that a job brings. And we Conservatives, under David, took the difficult but necessary decisions to repair the public finances and control the national debt. And that meant that when COVID hit, we could support people and businesses with furlough, provide record funding to the NHS, and deliver the fastest vaccine rollout in the world anywhere. We know that it is business and free enterprise, not the state, that will provide the growth and dynamism that our country needs. That is why we cut taxes, so British companies could invest, innovate and grow. We raised the income tax threshold to £12,500, lifting hundreds of thousands of people out of tax altogether. And in just the last year, Jeremy delivered a £900 tax cut for those in work, because we believe that hard work should always be rewarded. We also also know that a good education is the best way to spread opportunity and create a more prosperous society. So led by Michael, we took on the blob, its failed ideology, its soft bigotry of low expectations, and reformed our education system. The result? Our children are now the best readers in the Western world. We have given a whole generation opportunities that they would not have otherwise had. And our country will reap the benefit of those reforms for generations to come, and that is a legacy we Conservatives should be proud of. We all believe in the dignity of work, that those who can work should work. It's not morally right or economically sustainable to just park people on out-of-work benefits, out of sight, out of mind. So, led by Ian, we reformed our welfare system to make sure that work always pays. And we Conservatives don't always wear our hearts on our sleeves. We don't parade our consciences. We don't virtue signal. But we are compassionate. And we know that true compassion means tackling problems, not just emoting about them. In our time in office, we reduced absolute poverty, we reduced child poverty, we reduced pensioner poverty, and that is a record we can all be proud of. And we Conservatives also believe that those who have worked hard all their lives and contributed so much to our country deserve security and respect in retirement. That's why we introduced the triple lock, to ensure that the insult of Labour's 75p pension rise could never be repeated. And that's why we will continue to oppose Rachel Reeves' cruel decision to take the winter fuel allowance away from pensioners on as little as £13,000, while handing highly paid train drivers almost a £10,000 train ride. You know as I know, the last few months have shown, it is only us Conservatives who will stand up for Britain's pensioners. We strengthened our United Kingdom, with the forces of separatism now in retreat. We sent salmon and sturgeon home to think again. And I know that Russell Finlay will be a great new leader of the Scottish Conservatives too. We legislated for equal marriage, and we pushed hard for security at home and abroad. In the last 14 years, led by Home Secretaries from Theresa onwards, we halved crime. And we knew how important it is to secure our borders too. And let me tell you, we will only stop the crossings in the Channel when people know that if they come to our country illegally, they won't get to stay. We made our country more energy secure, with more nuclear, more British oil and gas, and more renewables. No major economy has reduced its emissions faster than us. We should be proud of that achievement. But Claire also led the way in taking a pragmatic approach to net zero. Unlike Ed Miliband, we Conservatives put family finances and our country's energy security ahead of blindless eco-zealotry. And it says everything about Labour, that they want to kill off the North Sea and abandon our nuclear strategy. And if they carry on like this Labour government won't need anyone else to turn the lights off. But with Boris, we got Brexit done, and made new trade deals around the world. Using our Brexit freedoms, we opened up new markets. We overtook France, the Netherlands, Japan, to become the fourth largest exporter in the world. And we Conservatives know that the first duty of government is the defence of the realm. So we gave our forces new capabilities, persuaded other NATO members to spend more on defence, led the push to increase defence spending to 2.5%, built new alliances with America, Australia, Japan, and led the world in supporting Ukraine, because Britain never bows to tyrants. a party to deter our enemies, defend our values, and stand up for our interests, then that party is the Conservative Party. And we did not get everything right. No government ever does. But that, in sum, my friends, is a record we can and should all be mighty proud of. Now, this country doesn't just have a proud past, but it also has a bright future. I believe in that innate confidence in ourselves that has always run through our island story. And just as we're proud of all that we created, invented, and discovered in our past, so we can be confident and optimistic about what we will achieve in our future. There is no country better placed to seize the opportunities posed by today's transformative technologies than Britain. That's why I spend so much time in government ensuring that we use low taxes, our world-class education system, and our Brexit freedoms to lead the world in the industries of the future. Labour might want to talk this country down, but we Conservatives know that our country's future is bright. And just as I'm optimistic about our country's long-term future, I'm optimistic about our party's future too. We have talented new MPs who are already holding the new Labour government to account. They're highlighting that Labour has created consumer confidence and business confidence, lost control of public sector pay, and scrapped our fully funded plans to increase defence spending to 2.5% to keep our country safe. In James, Kemi, Robert and Tom, we have a slate of strong leadership candidates. Now, I've sat around the cabinet table with all of them, and I can tell you they are all good Conservatives who would lead this country well and be better Prime Ministers than Keir Starmer. But above all, what gives me confidence about our party's future is that our values are those of the British people. We believe in freedom, aspiration, family, service, and opportunity. And that is what the great people of our country believe in. And this party's job is to serve a nation whose temperament, whose outlook is fundamentally conservative. And that is why we are the most successful political party in the Western world, and that is why we will win again. We know that people spend their money better than governments do. We know that the greatest driver of our economy and our society is people's desire to work hard, to improve their lives and that of their children. And we know that family is the most important thing to all of us. We aren't interested in what people are, but who they are. We don't label people. We judge them on their merits. And I will always be proud that it is our party, not the Labour Party, that has produced Britain's first ethnic minority Prime Minister, its first 3 female Prime Ministers, and its first non-white Prime Minister. Now, to conclude, this is the last time that I will address you all as leader of our party. With one final ask of all of you. Whoever wins this contest, give them your backing. We must end the division, the backbiting, the squabbling. We mustn't nurse old grudges, but build new friendships. We must always remember what unites us rather than obsessing about where we might differ. Because when we turn in on ourselves, we lose, and the country ends up with a Labour government. Now, you don't need somebody else to buy you a pair of designer glasses to see that the shine is coming off Keir Starmer already. People can see that Labour weren't frank with them at the election that Labour still believe that Whitehall knows better than you, that Labour are making the wrong choices for our country. But if we Conservatives are going to get back into office so that we can once more deliver for the British people, then our new leader is going to need your support. So let's use this conference to look to the future and ensure that one of our 4 candidates is not just the next leader of our party, but our next Prime Minister too. And with that, I hand this conference over to them. Thank you very much.